what's up you guys, this is Rob from Guy Plays, and today in a flash, we're going to be taking a very quick, no storyline spoilers look at the goodies that have come with the War Within update. Alrighty, there are so many things to talk about, and at this point I have yet to complete the War Within quest because I wanted to get all of this info out to you guys ASAP. We've got new weapons, new armor, new in-game systems, some of which I will only touch on lightly as they are tied directly to the quest, as well as some awesome quality of life changes. So in celebration of certain political policies that have recently been passed, let's blaze through this. So starting with some very interesting changes, sorties will now only become available once you have completed the War Within quest. The reward tables have been narrowed to varying amounts of endo, reactors, catalysts, adapters, lenses, legendary cores, and a super secret resource that ties into the quest. The Ninja blueprints have been moved into the dojo, and the Vandal/Wraith parts have been moved into the invasion mission loot tables with their own respectable factions. These missions have been tweaked as well, allowing the winning faction to occupy a node for 24 hours, where they will raid the location for resources to be used towards a mysterious construction project. Enough progress can lead to a faction-specific event, so be sure to keep your eyes out. Next thing that I think you all will be interested in are the changes to endless fissure missions. In addition to being able to select a new relic to unlock in between rounds, you'll also be getting bonuses to affinity, credits, resources, increased resource drop rate, and bonus relics. The way it breaks down is that you have 5 rotations. After rotation 1, you get a 1.25 multiplier to affinity. At the end of rotation 2, you get a 1.25 multiplier to credits. At the end of rotation 3, you get a 1.25 multiplier to resources. At the end of rotation 4, you get a 1.25 multiplier to resource drop rate. And at rotation 5, you will get a random exceptional relic. These rotations will continue until you hit a max of a 2x multiplier for all of your bonuses, while the random relics awarded will increase, maxing out at Radiant. So for example, rotation 1, 6, 11, and 16 will be granting multipliers to your affinity, while rotations 5, 10, 15, and 20 will be granting you escalating levels of relics that can actually be used in mission. And last but not least for the more major things, Decorator mode is now live for dojos and landing crafts. Be sure to check it out when you have a chance. Alrighty, now on to the weapons. Starting with the new primary, the Zarr, this uses the Stradivar's alternate fire mechanic and allows it to toggle between a very short range flak cannon mode and what can best be described as my living nightmare. Its cannon mode is the Coal-Star in primary form. Why does the world hate me? First Trump 1, now this? Regardless, for those who like to live dangerously, this pairing is actually pretty good. The barrage takes care of anything at short range, while the cannon can wipe enemies out from afar. And I mean from afar because you can and will take damage from this if you blow your load in the splash zone. You can pick up its blueprint in the market for 30,000 credits or 225 plat, or in the Continuity Collection bundle, which contains all 3 new weapons amongst other accessories for 895 platinum. The next up is the Twin Rogga. This is basically like the Ak Bronco Prime, but not shit. It's currently got the highest base damage of all semi-automatic pistols, no damage fall off, and a faster reload speed. It barely even has a recoil, and while it is limited to a small magazine capacity, this thing has enough stopping power that it's not going to be much of an issue. The Twin Rogga's blueprint can be found in the market for 30,000 credits, or you can pick it up pre-built for 190 plat. Last is the Kesheg. Now this totes the highest base damage of all polearms, but is a bit on the slower side. The only real standout for this is the fact that it's got a 2.5 times crit multiplier, which is amazing when paired up with Veiling Strike, as this has a very low crit chance on its own. Now keep in mind when I tested it when equipped with Prime Reach, it did only have a 7-meter range, which honestly isn't bad, but I know Ortho's Prime lovers are going to be asking me about it. This one's blueprint is available in the Chem Lab of your clan dojo after you've completed the appropriate research, or pre-built in the market for 180 plat. Now as with all of these news flashes, these are just quick overviews. Stay tuned for more in-depth stuff with each individual quick draw. I need a bit more time to form up and experiment before I pass any final judgments. Now, before we move along to cosmetics, I did want to point out that the buffs for the Silva and Aegis and the Ak and Brunt are currently in. The Silva and Aegis grants bonus critical and status chance on its next attack after blocking, 15% per hit up to a maximum of 60%, while the Ak and Brunt absorb the elemental damage it takes, and is granted bonus damage of that element. At the moment, there is no UI indicator for duration or percentage, so honestly, I don't really have a way to gauge exactly how effective this is, so we'll just have to toss this one on the back burner for now. Now, let's take a look at the Koopa Armor set, which can be picked up in the market for 100 plat, and is available in the bundle. Initially off the bat, I wasn't a big fan, however I am quite liking the asymmetry of the chest and the shoulder pieces, and while the dangly bit does wiggle around like a wagging tongue, it doesn't seem to flop around too crazily. And honestly, I think that this is going to be one of those sets that looks a bit better on medium to large frames than it does on slimmer ones, as the detail does tend to get lost and look a little bit messier as it's shrunk down to fit. Moving along, the Kuva cloak I am not fond of whatsoever. I like the hood bit, but the way that it moves is a bit like jelly, very similar to Trinity Prime's lobster butt, and it kind of disturbs me. The actual cloak bit uses that thick leather texture, which I've also never been fond of, and the general design is just a bit meh. But that is just my personal taste. If you like it, you can pick it up individually for 50 plat or find it available in the bundle. Now on the other end of the spectrum is the Koopa Braid, which is not available in the collection. This one has quite a nice design to it, however it does quiver like a slab of flesh attached to your back. Why I thought I needed to buy it for the review for 50 plats, I have no clue, but I did, and now there it is, just quivering. Continuing in the braid theme, there is also the Kuva Cord Sugatra. I actually don't hate it. It doesn't feel as jiggly as its Sayandana counterpart, but my like for it highly depends on the way its attachment point links to the weapon itself, as it's one of those that have the long bar at its base. This one is available in the bundle or for 15 plat individually. Now, you know what isn't just meh? The freaking Kavats and Kudo Armour available in the bundle or for 90 plat each. Holy shit, it's this weird BDSM evil leather kitty which I absolutely love. Admittedly, I wasn't all too fond of the other Koopa Armor, but holy camoli, this is definitely my hands down favorite. It just looks so freaking badass. I also quite like the Kubrows Armor, especially the shape of the headpiece, but the plates on his hind legs do jiggle too much for my own taste. It looks less like something solid and more like a jello mold. However, the overall look is still pretty good. Now, last and somewhat least are the Kuva skins for your landing craft. Each and every one of them has their own, and they're okay? As you guys know, I am not a massive fan of the Grineer aesthetic, so take what I say with a grain of salt. You get every single one of these in the collection, however, if you just want to cherry pick your own personal favorites, you can pick them up for 50 plat apiece. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, there are a ton of other little adjustments and changes, like the cloth on Frostprime's jacket, the ability to teleport to interest points in the relays, the prettification of smushed-faced Kavats, but like I said, I have postponed the War Within so I can get this video out to you, and I just can't wait any longer. The hype is fucking real, and I gotta go. So take care of yourself, check out the patch notes, have fun with the War Within, and I hope you enjoyed being flashed here at A Gay Guy Plays.